Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and welcome back to our subscriber game tournament season 2 as we continue with round 1 here in group 3 with a matchup between Will Be Deed in the green versus Wolf of Fenris in the red. And Will Be Deed is a returning player from our first tournament who actually made it quite far, and we'll see that he's bringing Cao Cao, Xu Huang, and Wu Tugu for this battle. And looking at his units, we have a fair bit of range options. 2 crossbowmen on Cao Cao for that armor piercing damage, 4 of the Northern Lancer, 2 of the Northern Horse Archer on Xu Huang for a bit of fire arrow and harassment, and 1 Qingzhou Halberd unit for that misplaced devotion. Then finishing up, we have 6 of the Nanman Javelin Spear Guards, which are very powerful in that they have turtle formation, and their javelins really hurt generals if they do land those shots up close, and they can fire while moving if they are in any of their formations. So it'll be quite interesting to see how this will play out. It's a very range focused comp if you look at it. There is quite a bit of range option on this setup. The generals are pretty strong. Cao Cao has a very fast horse and a pretty decent sword, so even though he's a commander, the damage is there. Then on the red side, we have Wolf of Fenris, who's bringing Yuan Shao with 6 units of the Ye Vanguard Spearmen. I think these have been pretty common, but I think 6 is perhaps too many. They're basically just spear guards with a crossbow option. It's great when they can stay there and shoot at enemy, soft targets, whether shock cavalry. But if they do get into melee, they lose against pretty much all the premium melee units that you typically see. But fortunately for them this time, there's not that many melee infantry options on the other side, and there's quite a few cavalry options, although they lose out in terms of range to all the archery and crossbowmen that is on Will Be Deed's side. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out, whether they stay in square or maybe shift to a different formation that have them better protected. Then Lu Bu has no unit, but is definitely a strong general in its own right. And we close that up with Yan Baihu, who will be hidden in this match as there is no foresight or any sort of vision reveal on Will Be Deed's side, so perhaps we'll have a very effective Yan Baihu performance, and he has 5 cavalry units under him. This is a very good setup because they will be invisible as well, and cheap, fast shock cavalry are very efficient, especially against these vulnerable range unit that could be on the back line, not suspecting to get hit. But we'll see how things turn out as they play the match. So let's hop into deployment and take a look. And here we have it. So, taking a look at the map, we have a very aggressive deployment by Wolf of Fenris, mainly because he has stock units. So they are spread out all behind the enemy on both flanks, very spread out. That's actually very good. I think this is actually pretty strong. Then from the front, we have a cluster of the Ye Vanguard Spearmen, which are the only visible troops, plus Lu Bu in the middle, Yuan Shao quite far behind, probably because he doesn't have guerrilla deployment. They are in square formation. The trees are not going to be their friend here. It blocks your vision when you shoot, and also they could be lit on fire, and you might get stuck in a very bad situation that lowers your morale. But he does have Yuan Shao, who will run up probably in the beginning to provide that morale boost. And the key is, how will he apply Yan Baihu's poison volley, and whether Will Be Deed can counter that, because his unit are very nicely lined up for getting shot, but maybe he has enough cavalry to kind of patrol and find him. And let's see how this plays out. Yuan Shao rushing up to provide that much needed morale boost. They're not moving. I think Will Be Deed's probably sniffing out there is a 3rd general and he's not visible, so it's most likely Yan Baihu. He's shifting his front line into this tree line here. Cavalry's moving. These are not really doing much. That's okay. Not a very aggressive attempt here. Not going in for that first volley. The fire is going to get started here, as Northern Mounted Archers are going to come in and shoot their volleys at 200 range, farther than what they can do at 160. We still have no movement. Okay, they're starting to move now, the cavalry. Ooh, regular arrows. He just wants damage. Don't want to burn these trees. Lu Bu is countering. It's strange that Yanbaihu's not coming in for a play. Oh, here comes the fire arrows. Okay, a couple dash of that before pulling away. Generals for a 3v1. You know, Lu Bu pulls off from that. It's not a great fight for him. Cao Cao's fast. Cao Cao has a really good horse. And if you look at the bonuses from Fury off of Wu Tugu plus his own Nature's Ally, he's getting massive speed boosts, and they caught Lu Bu right here. Now the crossbow is not going to do too much to moving generals, but still does enough to peel them off. Yanbaihu's still not making a move. Now the fire is on, and as it spread towards these trees, it should start affecting their morale soon, but with Yuan Shao, it's not going to be a big problem. Horse Archer comes back to being annoying. He's looking for this perfect angle right here. Let's see if he gets it. Lu Bu coming to distract at the same time. That's good timing if he can just make sure Lu Bu pulls back. Because I don't think you... Oh, he's maybe trying to bait them towards the cavalry. Are we getting... Oh, he's been spotted. And you can see immediately they're zigzagging. We don't want to give them a straight line. That is correct. The cavalry springing the trap. It's Lu Bu plus 3 cavalry versus 3 generals. Not sure how this matchup will go, actually. The roar kicks in, right? The cavalry should rout pretty quickly. He has a smash to follow up as well. Yeah, not sure if that was the right play, because Xu Huang is pretty strong. He did chunk Cao Cao a little bit. So it looks like we got poison volley, but because it's spread out, only 2 units got hit. That's pretty much how you counter Yanbaihu. You spot him and you make sure none of your units are in a line. Let him hit maybe 2 max per volley, and that really just neutralizes how much damage you'll take. Lu Bu's peeling off. They're pretty happy with taking out the 3 cavalry. They will bounce back, I'm pretty sure. Oh, look at that speed bonus from these 2 Fury plus Nature's Ally. Yeah, they're going to clean up the cavalry while they still have vision of him. The other 2 cavalry are searching for Yanbaihu right now. They're shifting farther and farther to the forest. They're trying to get around this burning forest area, which is probably smart. You don't really want to cross your Nanman units, who are very susceptible to fire through it. These crossbow units are great at picking off cavalry that's just wandering a little bit too close, but you can see the trees kind of block their shots. And this is probably not the best place for them. It seems like WBD had completed the crossing and then looped behind. They're still hunting the cavalry over here. Lu Bu should honestly use this opportunity to come smash infantry. Not using him now is just going to make life much more difficult later. Because you know they're occupied, right? Go for it. You have 3 generals with pretty much all the units you paid for anyways. Might as well pick up this fight now when the enemy generals are not close. Yanbaihu's been spotted, he's being harassed. It's going to be hard to get value on him. All the crossbow moving at the same time might not be the best thing, because they can't fire while moving. Lu Bu should be much more aggressive here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he could be trying to use the Stalker ability, which gives, you know, additional melee resistance, or melee evasion in this case, for all units that's in the forest. So if he stays in the forest, he could get that bonus. But the risk is fire arrows. So after this dance, we have swap sides. But Wolf of Fenris is still the one in the forest. He has lost 3 cav. Lu Bu's half health. He traded a bit of arrow damage. This is just for passing by those square formations. Yeah, see, now the crossbow is going to outrange you. But you are in the forest. There is bonuses you're giving. The range resistance is also applied. Not sure. Well, it does help With evasion a little bit, range block chance. Just getting outrange at this point. And now with the generals returning, it's difficult to make a move against all of this. The fire being burnt right in front of their faces, not really affecting them yet. But the fire on this side is affecting them soon. Currently, the trees aren't lit yet. It's lit over here with the 10 morale hit. Yeah, running into enemy cavalry. Faster speed for the chase down. Lu Bu should just go. This shouldn't be a one-sided affair. You're not going to outrun this. Just try to return damage if you pull their generals away. Okay, here he comes. Now he needs to be careful. If they are turtled up, they're not. You don't want to approach them from the front because they will javelin you. Okay, he's looping around. Oh, he's not going for the troops. Is he going to go help? That is probably not the best plan. Wu Tugu has been sent to take care of Lu Bu. Okay, Lu Bu is probably going for the crossbow units? No? Okay, he's going for the crossbow units. Smash? Yuan Shao should get into combat too. Ooh, the javelins, the javelins. Not using Yuan Shao to fight is still one of the biggest issues players have. You don't need distant courage right now. They're not wavering. The easiest thing to do is have him fight like a general. If your units start to waver, you hit unyielding earth, give them 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, get yourself free, and then they have the extra 50 points of morale. So far, Yuan Shao has appeared in our tournament 3 times. This is the 4th time. Yuan Shao has yet to kill a single unit. 0 kill count so far. Maybe it will change in this combat. We'll see if he actually gets his hand dirty. Because I think players are confusing the fact that, okay, the way to counter Yuan Shao is to get him in melee. It doesn't mean, you know, you want to just stay out of melee when you have him. Okay, he's charging. He's gonna get kills. Yuan Shao finally gets a kill. 3 kills right there in that charge. 11 kills. See how fast it is on that charge? You can get so many kills, get rid of a unit. And if you're worried about your units routing, save the ability so that when they start wavering, you activate that, then try to get yourself loose. Alright, Lu Bu is rather low. Do we have any dismount attempts? Okay, Lu Bu is on the ground. But it looks like he didn't do it voluntarily. I think he got knocked off his horse. I don't see his horse highlighted. And he's gone. Also is actively dismounting. Everyone's on the ground fighting to their death. Now I wonder... Yeah, they all actively dismounted. Oh, a beheading. That's gonna hurt. The Javelin Spear Guards are more base damage compared to a regular Spear Guard. They have the same formations. Their main thing is really high armor piercing damage javelins. Just good counter general units. They're not going to do super great in melee, but if you win out your general fight with Xu Huang now just able to smash anytime he wants, this is going to be over right here. Yep. The main thing I think is in the early stages, a bit of indecisiveness. If they can't see you, just go for the shot. If they're all lined up, why give them the time to readjust their, formation? You had the cavalry spread out really nicely. Go for those crossbow units. Trade 2 of your cavalry for 2 crossbow units. That is a great trade. So there was just no action in terms of the attack. And then when generals are isolated chasing down cavalry, that's your opportunity to do the same to their force. It's a competition of who can do more damage to the other army at that point, and not using your generals at that point is probably a mistake. And then in the end, it's just the generals traded much better for Will Be Deed, and we ended up with this result here as he maneuvered his army kind of to the enemy side, and ended here with this fight. And let's see the damages. Yuan Shao is finally on the board though. You see that one charge made a world difference. 22 kills in this one battle. Should have got more. I think he and Lu Bu could have went in and fought when they were chasing the 2 cavalry or the 3 cavalry on the right flank. Yan Baihu could have been active during that time as well. And even when they committed to Yan Baihu, and he was certainly doomed because of all the speed up bonuses from Wu Tugu and Cao Cao, they should have still, traded during that period against the enemy army. Could have, wiped out most of these infantry at that point, and then made the follow-up fight a little bit better. And the overuse of Vanguard Spearmen is probably a bigger issue. These cost 1,000 each, but they're really just a spear guard with crossbow. You only need about 2 to 3 of them to counter enemy cavalry, right? The cavalry has only 30 per group. Having 120 bows per unit, it's more than enough to shoot down a couple of shock cavalry that passes by. You're just there to offer that threat so the enemy cavalry can't approach you. You're not actually good in combat. So I think that's another little mistake. Maybe if we swapped out 3 of them for 3 camp crushers even, who will do better against enemy infantry and perhaps even generals, depending on if they have smash attack or not, it would have turned things around. But ultimately, it's just how to use your generals, when to use your generals. If you see opportunities where those cavalry were lost and they were far away, if you can pull the enemy general with you far away, that's your opportunity to go in and trade against the enemy army, who's going to be rather slow and infantry focused. But anyhow, Will Be Deed moves on to round 2, and he'll be facing the winner of the next match, as this match concludes in 10 minutes and 19 seconds, and we'll see who's faster to determine who has side selection. So until then, bye!